back here on the Nerd TV for another rendition of the Full Throttle Sim Racing series, this time with the Truck Series presented by Sim Racing Points. We are at the very tricky 2.5-mile Pocono What Turn 4 Raceway here. Good temperatures tonight. The track is not as hot as what we've seen the past few weeks. 78 degrees in the air, 99 degrees on the track. But we've seen temperatures up to 130 the past couple weeks. So glad to see a change of pace. Cooler track means more grip for these drivers out here as they try to take this track for 60 laps tonight to get the job done and see if Richie Coy can maybe get back his lead in the points after taking that 1 week hiatus last week. But my name is Jay Stan, of course, on the left-hand side of your screen. And to my right, Mr. Poshibianek. How's it going?
It's going good, Jeremy. Excited to be here at the Tricky Triangle. Should be a good battle. We see Justin Belmonte is taking the top spot right now. He's got over a 10th over Richie Coy, who's back right over Chuck Sweeting, as you mentioned. So those two looking to be up at the front again. So I'm expecting a nice little battle here.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Those two, or those three, kind of been around each other for quite a bit for the most part this season. Doesn't disappoint as far as the excitement goes. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. See if some of these other guys too can take advantage of the point system and how things are standing right now. It's really tight battle since Richie did back out last week for his vacation. So the standings are really buttoned up. Belmonte's only 9 points away from now Chuck Sweeting's lead. First time he's been in the points lead this season. Brody Hanna, that's Richie Coy's teammates, only 13 back. Nicholas Casey only 14 back. So it's up for grabs. There's 6 races left, and you got the top 5 only by 14 points. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on the points race the entire rest of the way.
Yeah, it's going to be heating up as these races start dwindling down towards the end. It's crazy to think, he missed the week last week, and there's only 3 points out of that first spot again. So shows you just how dominating Richie's been so far this season with a couple wins and everything with his teammate there, Tony Solari, who's not really having best of luck right now in practice. He's sitting third from the bottom at a 54.7. So I was thinking Tony might have a little bit more on this track, but once we get the race going, it'll be a little different. I mean, all these guys are pretty close on these times as well, so we'll see where it plays out. But yeah, quite a points battle that's shaping up. And between the rookie though, Jeremy, I mean, I don't think it's pretty close in the rookie battle. We had 2 battling it out, and we got 1 remaining, and that's Belmonte, who's fighting for that overall points lead as well.
Yeah, only 2 rookies started the season, 1 being that 3rd place in points, 9 out. Mr. Justin Belmonte, your only other rookie. Not really making too many races, or race for that matter. 1 start. So it's basically just a gimme for Mr. Belmonte. He's definitely had that thing locked up to be the rookie of the year for this season of 2022B. Especially with 6 races left. No one can touch him at this point. And yeah, going back to your Tony Solari comment there, he did excellent season 1 of this year. Like he was on a mission. He was on par with his teammates for the most part. The season was kind of tapered off a little bit. He's got the same setups as Brody Hanna and Chuck Sweeting. They always work really close niche and build the setups together. They run basically the same thing, maybe a minor tweak here and there to personalize it a little bit. But especially at Tricky Triangle Pocono right now, Tony Solari he's struggling a little bit. Almost a full second off the practice leader right now, Belmonte. They got a minute left in this session. So he's got to find something drastic here. It looks a little tight, especially in 1 and 2. I noticed him really having to lift off the throttle before he gets to the exit of the corner. So the truck right now, to me, looks like it's pretty tight overall.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I'm sure we make some changes as well. I mean, this place is, as the name goes, tricky. I mean, look who we got sitting just a couple spots above him. That's Nicholas Casey. He's one of those trucks that's been pretty fast this year, and he's also looking like he's having a tough time here in practice. So it's kind of biting some of these guys already. Definitely kind of changes as the race gets going, I think. But we see Bobby Terrell jumped up into that 3rd spot for the top 3 in practice. So now he's going to be sitting there just a little bit past Richie Coy. Richie Coy actually gained a little bit of time on one of his laps, and still about half a tenth off of Justin Belmonte there. But we see some other guys up in the top 10, Jeremy. Andrew Palicki, he had a great run a couple weeks back at Atlanta, got some trouble. Stephen Furman there, and then Jeff Langston still running the top 10 as well. So he's been having a strong few weeks as well.
One guy that's been putting on pretty impressive racing, more and more so, is Mr. Kevin Rupert. Not here this week. He finished third last week there at New Hampshire. Was coming on strong in the past few races, but it looks like he's going to be taking the week off, as these guys are kicking it over to qualifying. That means it's our time to start giving some thank yous to all of our sponsors and, of course, get our faces off your screen, because we're the least important ones here. The important ones are on the track and the ones who bring this action to you guys every week. The league, first and foremost, 6 weeks left. I keep counting it down every week. You got 6 weeks to sign up if you want to partake in 2022B, just to kind of get your feet wet, see what you can do amongst the guys, the veterans over at FTSR. So head over to the website and sign up. 2 free series and 2 that are paid. Don't miss the action. It's a lot of fun no matter which night that you race here. Mach 1 Performance, the presenting sponsor for the Cup Series every Monday night. It's a fabrication shop that's produced championship winners from the SCCA and NSA and more when it comes across dirt and pavement oval racing. So if your car in your shop is in the local area of Mach 1 Performance, head over to facebook.com/Mach 1 Performance and go take them a visit or bring them a visit. Sim Racing Points, presenting series sponsor for every Wednesday night here for the Truck Series. It's your all-in-one league points management system. All that means, if you actually go to FTSR, I keep saying this too, if you go to their standings, essentially on any series, all the stats that they show up has like the little checker flags. You can look up quick stats, gives you the hard charger award, gives you fastest times in qualifying, and it's got so many features and details that this brings you at a really good price point too to make your league professional. So go to simracingpoints.com and get your league registered today. Martin Sports, official apparel partner for the Nerditudes. Of course, they present the Lucky Dog Award whenever these guys have cautions, which is few and far between. But essentially, Martin Sports got you covered from all the way from your hat down to your shirt and everything in between. They got gloves, which are the #1 in the sim world. Hoodies. They make some polos. Anything from upper half your body, really. They got you covered. And they do custom orders. And when you do a custom order, they have the fastest turnaround in the business. So martinsports906.com. Use that Super Nerd checkout code for 25% off. Thank you to iRacing for being the flag partner for the Nerditudes. It's your 64 LED system that sits on the desk and kind of like it replicates the little caution lights that you see on the catch fence in most of these tracks, but it does a lot more than just green, yellow, and red. It does up to 30 different notifications. All the flags are covered. Most of the iRacing spotters are covered on a little visual, neat setup. And it does not take up much space, and it's super bright, and it keeps your focus on the track and what's ahead of you. So if you're interested in completing your sim rig, head over to iRacingIFlag.com. Use Super Nerd at checkout when you purchase that for 15% off. Thank you to the Butt Kicker, the audio enhancement partner for the Nerditudes. You need to pick up yourself that Gamer 2 unit if you want to bring the ultimate realism from the track into your sim rig. It completes it. Trust me, it's awesome. Brings all the bumps and feels of the track. It makes you feel like you're actually there. You're going to head over to thebuttkicker.com. Nerd TV at checkout code will save you 20% off that product. Moonlight Speed. Head over to moonlightspeed.us if you want one of the fastest places to get your wins on the asphalt oval side, whether it's the Advanced Legends all the way up to the next gen. These guys got your back. Really good professional setups with a really good price point. Once again, that's moonlightspeed.com. Thank you to houseofspeed.us, professional setups on the dirt oval side. So whatever dirt oval car you're driving, head over to houseofspeed.us and get yourself registered on their site and pick your pricing plan. Just like Moonlight Speed, you can do a weekly series. You can do a by track purchase. You can do the whole entire iRacing season purchase. Whatever fits your checkbook, and whatever you need and whatever track you really want to perform your best at, you're going to go to houseofspeed.us. And lastly, Nerd Focus, the energy partner for us here at the Nerditudes, because the nerds turn to the nerds for the Think Drink. Keeps you focused hours on end. And it's 2 great flavors, one sugar-free, one sugar. There's no 100 different flavors. It's just boom or boom. Either one, they taste great, trust me. And you're going to find that at nerdfocus.com. Super Nerd at checkout for 10% off. All right, Kenny, looks like qualifying's got about 10 seconds left here. About 11 people have taken time. If you want to go down that starting order for us.
Absolutely. We got Justin Belmonte, who's taken right from practice to qualifying, starting off on the pole tonight. Bobby Trail's going to take that outside spot in second place, with Richie Coy starting third. Nicholas Casey coming in fourth. Brody Hanna is going to roll off in fifth. Chuck Sweeting, sixth. Lane Allen in seventh. Jeff Langston with another good qualifying run in eighth. Andrew Pulicki rolling off ninth. And in 10th is going to be Sherwood Wilford.
11th place, you'll find Steven Vrooman. 2 is outside, and 12th is Wayne Grossi. 13th, Zach McDaniel. 14th, Tony Solari. 15th, Brian Bliss. And 16th, Jeff Brayton. And like I said, only 11 people took qualifying time. So we see Tony elected not to qualify. Wayne Grossi, that's typical for that number 7 to do so, but don't expect him to be in the back long. He's always fast and will come up to the front. Count on that for sure. But 60 laps here at this 2.5-mile track. This track's interesting. You can see some really close racing. If you guys caught the iRacing eNASCAR race with Casey Kerwin and Zach Novak, put on a performance of a lifetime in that series there on the Tuesday Night Cup Series with a 6/1000th of a second victory for Casey. This track can produce that. It's a really large track, but for some reason these guys can get really grouped up there at the end, produce some good racing overall, and I'm expecting nothing less here tonight.
Yeah, it was a great finish there by those guys yesterday, and then what a track that you can just do. Like you said, you can have a close finish like that, or you be a whole front stretch ahead of the guys. So it just kind of depends on how everything plays out and what happens. Sometimes it's one will even rain out, but we don't have to worry about that in the virtual world, so that's good. But I expect to see some good battles here, and I'm going to be intrigued to see if some of these guys are going to downshift or not, or if they're just going to keep it in fourth the whole time. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well.
I'm really expecting that to happen on Mondays, but as far as the trucks go, it's open setup. They have the free will to do what they want. It's very possible. We'll have to keep an eye out. Maybe we can go on some onboard cameras and see who exactly is shifting. I would expect that in turn 1, turn 3, not so much in turn 2. You're starting to see these guys roll off onto the field. And you mentioned rain. I know iRacing's been working on it, and they've teased us some more with some updates. And the rain looks really realistic as far as what they're working on. They said it's a full team effort. Everyone's hands-on on it to get it to be the best it can be. It'd be fun to have a rain-delayed race and a league race event. I don't know about a host or an online official race. I don't know if that would be fun to kind of wait out a 15-minute race, but it'd be a cool thing to add onto this sim for sure. These guys halfway down what is the first part of the backstretch. I don't know what you would call the backstretch here, Ken. This is the longer straightaway of the two, but it's not technically halfway until you get close to the turn 2 section. So I'm not sure what they call the backstretch. Maybe they should put like what they have in turn 3. They say what turn 4. Maybe they should put what backstretch, because I really don't know what they're calling the backstretch here.
I mean, you have the first part backstretch, first part, second part backstretch. I'm not sure, but hey, speaking of what turn 4, did you see where they said stay tuned with the turn 4 situation? Have you kept up with that at all?
I was thinking about that as soon as I was mentioning the backstretch thing, and no, I have not seen Pocono Raceway post anything about it, so that's going to be a stay tuned again, because I honestly have no idea.
Well, I'm going to keep my eye out as well, so see what they're talking about there.
I'm kind of curious. There's some rumors, of course. People like to stir rumors. It's always a big pot to play with. About to go green flag racing. As if you've seen any Pocono race in previous, sometimes these guys really love to scatter across this huge front stretch, one of the longest straightaways in the business, one of the widest in the business. Right now they're keeping it pretty calm here as they head down to turn number 1. We see Wayne Grossi making one little shift. These guys are playing it safe here as they enter turn number 1 right now. But the early lead is going to go to that number 12, Justin Belmonte, and the number 4 of Bobby Terrell kind of falling back here as he single files out into third. Is actually the top 4 really file out single file right now.
Yeah, I was expecting maybe to fan out a little bit on that start, and Richie looked low for a second, but ducked back in line. But yeah, everyone kind of kept it neutral there, and Bobby Terrell, I'm not sure if he lifted too much or what the case was, but yeah, Richie, we see a little push in there in turn 2. That's that tricky corner to me, Jeremy, is that just that gotta get that perfect lift and everything. But yeah, Richie took advantage of that, and he dove and get that second spot. But he's trying to run down Belmonte. You can see him close in on him a little looser as they're coming off the 3. But looks like, we got one on the inside there, Jerry. He's gonna miss the arrow there, but that's a close call.
Langston got a little bit loose. The tires are not warmed up yet. Try to get a little too much out of those Goodyears, and Ed said, nope, I'm going to give out. And he did a good job. Thankfully, the straightaway is a mile wide to be able to avoid the inside wall. These guys are pretty well single filed out. They're going to take it easy here, especially if their handling's not to where they need to. These leaders are kind of pulling away early on.
Yeah, Belmonte's putting on a strong performance starting out this race, but Richie's right behind him. He's not letting him get too far ahead. Richie knows he's got to gain 3 spots on Chuck and try to stay ahead of Belmonte as much as he can. So he wants to get out front, and I expect him to try and probably make his way there shortly. But we'll see. There's a close battle back there with Jeff Langston. He's going to have his hands full here in a moment, having a nice little battle right behind him.
And this is on basically for the points lead here. Chuck Sweeting not in the picture here, at least for the top 4, as he's dropped back to 6th place. Or not dropped back, but he's still running in 6th place for that matter. He needs to find some speed if he wants to keep his point lead. He's only got a 2 point lead over that 19 who's in 2nd place. 4 spots currently ahead. But at the same token, I'm not too worried about that 75. We know he has one of the best long run setups each and every week that we see him, no matter if it's on the Cup side or the truck. He just knows how to set that thing up. So expect him to make some runs as the race continues. But right now, Mr. Belmonte is still the lead of the class right now.
Yeah, and no one's really, we see a pass here right for Chuck Sweeting on the inside of Brody Hanna for that 5th spot. But before that happened, I was going to say, no one's really moved a position. You just have Richie Coy and Bobby Terrell, the only 2 that really exchanged spots. But now we're having some movement here. Justin Palicki's moving around Jeff Langston. You just saw that pass right there. Brody's getting right on the back bumper of Chuck Sweeting as they're heading down into turn 1. Pushing him down. It looks like he was pushing him down, but if not, he was pretty close to him. But we see a little battle we got going on in the back here. Is Jeff Langston still having a little battle tonight?
Yeah, the 75 got around the number 23 of Brody Hanna to put Chuck in the top 5, and Brody gave him a nice little shove all the way down the front stretch, which draft does play a huge factor at Pocono, especially in the main front stretch and then the first part after turn number 1. If the straightaways are long enough, it does produce some type of side drafting passes, some tangoing, if you will. But outside of that, this second little shorter straightaway, the 3rd one rather, not the best to get the job done as far as that goes. But these guys are still running out pretty good. Richie Coy just kind of relaxed. I think he's got the truck to get to that 12. I really do. He's even stepping it out, getting some clean air on that nose. But I think he's just kind of relaxed right now a little bit. But that number 4 of Mr. Terrell, don't count him out. He's on a mission to get as many points as he can because he wants to make a late little race out of this point system to put himself into that picture.
Yeah, you see Nicholas Casey right behind him as well. It's a little four truck battle right here. And we mentioned he wasn't the fastest in practice, but he's had a fast truck all season, so I'm not surprised to see him up here in the top 5. We'll see a little bit more improvement I expect of him throughout the night. But these 4 right now, even 5 if you put Chuck Sweeting in there, those are going to be those 5 guys that's really going to be competing up in this top 5, I feel like, tonight, just based off of what we've seen in practice, what we're seeing out here right now, and kind of just all season long. So I expect them to switch around a little bit, but I think these guys are going to be kind of our top 5 tonight. We're looking at it.
Yeah, the only people I would say that can maybe spoil that fun is Lane Allen. He's been doing pretty good, getting better and better every week, and he's been finding himself, close to that podium quite a few of these past 3 weeks. So I expect that 14 to make some late race moves. His long run setup seems to be pretty good as well. He's currently running in 7th place right now. We're on board with him. As we've seen him go by 2 aliases, Steven and then Lane. He's got his name switched over to Lane right now, but either way, we know who we're talking about. Is that number 14, Silver Bass Pro Shop, who runs that same paint scheme each and every week, like most of these guys do here at Full Throttle. So I'm gonna make the 14 right now my sleeper for the night.
Yeah, he's having a great season so far, so that's definitely not a bad sleeper pick right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on, see how it goes. You see Richie kicking back out, catching some fresh air as well. Bobby Terrell's going to tuck in as well behind him, but Justin Belmonte, Jeremy, he's still leading the way. He's having a strong run right now. Um, it is Pocono, like we mentioned. The passes are kind of limited, not limited, I should say, but a little bit more harder to come by this track once everything gets going. But we'll start seeing some wear and everything, and that's when we'll start seeing these passes. But everyone's keeping it nice and close, and that draft has to do a little bit with that as well. But we haven't seen anyone really fall off or anything like that, and we don't see that big gap of a lead that we've kind of seen in some of these races as well. All these guys are staying pretty close tonight.
And you mentioned earlier about turn 2 being your tricky corner, and I'm going to absolutely agree with that comment. They said at the opening there. Turn 1 and turn 3, I just feel like it's a rhythm corner. You can make some gains there. You can get to the inside of somebody and kind of pick your lane, so to speak, and drive the truck off wherever you want. But turn 2, it's almost like a single groove turn. If you go side by side, it drastically, you lose a lot of speed there, which you can set somebody up for a pass and really choke them up and make them lose a lot of ground. But for the most part, you have to hit the corner a certain way to maximize that speed. If you don't hit it a certain way, then you have to lift a lot because that outside wall comes at you in a hurry. So I would have to agree with you. Turn 2 being the tricky corner. Watch out for that corner tonight. I expect that race could be potentially won or lost in that corner.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the ones where I can hit it perfect one lap and I go back around and then nope, all the way. So definitely my tricky ones. I see a little battle up here. We got Chuck Sweeting. Looks like he's trying to go on the inside of Nicholas Casey to make that pass for fourth. He's not going to be able to make it this time by. Chuck's right back in line, but he's looking to get in that one spot further and see if he can. Oh, we got a spin here on the front stretch, Jeremy.
Caution is out for the first time. Lap number 9 of scheduled 60 laps. Looks like the spin is going to come from that number 7 of Wayne Grossi. Looks like he had a little bit of assistance. He was well off the exit of turn number 3. Zach McDaniel, who's back this week, comes off of turn number 3. Gets a little loose, I think. I'm going to go back and take a look at this. But, yeah, looks like the 42 actually didn't get loose. He just came up into the fender there, and it sent the number 7 around. And a little bit of wall contact on that left rear and left front. So we'll have to see what kind of damage that does to that number 7 Pennzoil. Early incident for not much reason. I don't know why the side draft was so hard on lap 9, and it's caused the first wreck this evening.
Yeah, as we see, try to get right there. Yep, just kind of hooked him a little bit, and I'm not sure if he just got a little bit too close and got it or what's going on there. But yeah, that's fortunate there for Wayne. Caught that inside a little bit. Not sure how bad his damage is going to be. He did hit it pretty good, but wasn't head on or anything like that. So we'll have to see what happens after he comes down pit road. But yeah, I don't know if he tried to tuck back in line there, Jeremy, and just get right behind him and not lose anything, or if it was like you said, that side draft just a little too close. But either way, Wayne Grossi inside wall.
They went back and watched the laps previous, just doing a quick little rewind, and did not see any previous issue between the two tonight. So I think that was just a side draft gone wrong. You got this massive track, but you want to maximize your speed. And I mentioned the side draft works well on the front stretch and after turn number 1. And yeah, just trying to get a little too much out of that 42 and off the side of the 7. And it happens. He made contact, and at least it's early on. And the 7 has a lot of time between each lap to get this thing repaired up. These guys do have 4 sets of tires, and we're 10 laps now through 60. So plenty of tires remaining really to complete this thing, so no real worry. Just got to make sure that left front's fully repaired to maximize that aero performance.
You know what I want to call this camera shot? I know we call it like the free floating camera, but I'm going to call it the drone shot because you can fly that thing around like a drone sometimes. So that's what I'm going to go with.
That's a pretty good call there. It's a locked on drone camera. Can't fly any further away than 10 feet from the vehicle. I kind of like it. I think that's a good call. And then, of course, we love to utilize the roof cameras as well. But you see everyone coming down pit road. We're going to need a little bit of a cold trickleness to get this thing off of pit road before these guys get around that 7. Pairs that the 7 has left as they're about to pass him right now. Don't know if he's going to be able to make it, Ken.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's coming off. Nope, he's not going to make it. But he's got time. I mean, he's the only one that's a lap down right now. So all we need, if we get another caution, get that lucky dog, get back on there. But we'll see where these guys come off as we see that right side getting jacked up on pretty much every truck that's on the field right now. And then they're moving over to the left side. Yep, there goes everyone, just like clockwork right there. So we'll see who gets off the line first. Richie Coy, he might
I know.
Oh, so
Man.
close.
I don't know how they're going to call that. Looks like the 19 takes. Yeah, I visually saw the 12 beat him out, but the 19 had the speed getting to the line. So it looks like Mr. Richie Coy is going to be able to take that. And like you said with the clockwork, how many times you get to see everyone come down and literally turn into their stall at the same exact moment? And that camera angle showed every single truck doing so. It was kind of a cool angle.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And you see all their tires. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know if we've seen that at all this season, or even last season with everyone coming down like that. But that was a great shot there by Dustin. He's always spot on with his camera angles.
Oh, 100%. That's why we like to have him back there producing. Hey, double duties on Monday. He's producer and broadcaster with me, so puts a lot of OT in to get this product just right. But while we're sitting here underneath caution, I'd love to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. This time, Moonlight Speed. MoonlightSpeed.com is your house to go if you're looking for some wins on anything asphalt oval related. If you want to compete with the big boys here, like Richie Coy, Chuck Sweeting, and everybody else in the rest of the field, this is the shop. If you need a little bit of assistance in your setup game, MoonlightSpeed.com. We got about, I think, one lap as soon as the pace car crossed the line this time. Yep, it is one lap to go, which I was hoping so. Because I don't know about you, Ken, nobody likes pacing, especially at Pocono, because it's like a 5-minute lap. It's just not fun.
No, that's what I was thinking when they were on qualifying. I was like, oh man, we got to go a whole pace lap around here. This thing's going to take forever, but yeah, it's okay. I mean, I will say though, Poconos though, like, it's a gorgeous looking place. That's one place that I want to go to. You got the trees all around it. Go down, I guess you can say the first backstretch, whatever we're going to call it, from 1 to 2. Just seeing them all move and stuff like that. That's one track that I definitely want to knock off the bucket list.
The only thing that I'd love to go to see the venue too. I think it'd be awesome. I think going to any track, every track that's currently active in the season would be awesome to go to. But for me, being at Homestead, it's a very similar setup as far as the grandstand goes. It's pushed away from the track. You're not up against the fence. So it kind of takes away your visual. So I think in that perspective, you'd want the highest seat in the house, especially how big this track is. If you're sitting in the first 10 rows, you probably can't even see half the track. So I would at least recommend the upper half, high as you can get in that grandstand, to maximize your view, and even on the front stretch, because like I said, it's so pushed back. I don't think you can see much of that front stretch. So if you do go, the upper seat's the way to go. And in the comments too, if you're watching right now, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, if you've been to Pocono, let's see if you can side on me and say if if you've been there before. Let me know is the upper half of the grandstand more important, or is it the middle or the lower, or is it toward turn 1 or turn 4? Either way, I'd love the feedback.
Yeah, I mean, when we were at Homestead a couple years back, I think we were up more towards the top as well, and we were able to see the whole track. So that definitely gave it a good perspective. And that was a fun race. But yeah, let's green flag, German. We're back to racing. We got Richie Coy starting on the inside here with Justin Belmonte on the outside. So we saw Richie Coy have a great run in the turn 1 last time and a great run off. So we'll see what he does in this one as they're heading down in the turn 1.
Yeah, the 19 with the first lead change of the night right before the caution came out, or right after the caution came out, rather, as he comes out pit road in first place. Gifted the lead virtue of his virtual crew doing an excellent job there to get his tires changed faster than that 12. And let's see if that 12 is going to take an early stab out of here as he goes into that turn number 2. That corner we've labeled pretty tricky to make a clean pass here. Will he make it happen? The 86 sees the door wide open. That's Nicholas Casey, who gets really loose and able to save it there off the turn number 2 exit. But there's still, the number 12 is back to the point where he was all race long.
Yeah, as you mentioned, if you can make a pass there heading in the 2 and put the driver on the outside in a difficult spot, and he definitely was like that. You saw Richie just a little bit of wheel movement, almost touched that wall too, but definitely had to slow up to let the 12 go, so he lost some time. And yeah, that's exactly what Justin set it up for, and you called it, like I said, a couple of laps ago. So but he's kind of back to where we were. Justin 1, Richie 2.
The 12 and 19 are kind of spaced out exactly.
75.
Oh, the 75 loose, 21 assists to 23. It's a domino effect. No there it is. Caution is out. Double zero spins out. Does not hit anybody. 14 Lane Allen's got some nose damage. Brody Hanna right in the middle of a sandwich has a little bit of nose and rear damage here. So you're going to see a replay from that incident. situation where some of these guys couldn't get away from it. You see the 14 just really shoving Brody Hanna right into that wreck. Chuck Sweeting's got loose right in front of the 21. 21 had nowhere to go, and then you see the 00 there, that yellow and black machine. Just kind of gets loose, locking it down, make sure you didn't get involved in anybody's wreck.
Yeah, a little bit of ARCA brakes there made by 14 is what we heard on the 23 radio there, but you can see they were trying to check up and just the domino effect. And the 75, who was the one we thought was going around, he kept going and made out okay. So it's just how it happens sometimes. You see the 21 getting a little shove there, and Brody comes in, gives them no shove, and there's 14, and there they go around. Is that the 00 as well? I think that went around. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was Vroom in there who locked it down to make sure he didn't hit anybody. Went back and looked at it a little bit more, and yeah, from our camera angles that we're seeing, the 75 did get assistance. He did not get loose until the 21 got to his rear bumper. So it assisted him in spinning out, which is fortunate for the number 7, Mr. Wayne Grassi. He was not involved in that wreck, so you know what that means. It's going to put him, I do believe, as soon as we go next time around, he should. We'll wait for the official label, but he should be your Lucky Dog Reward recipient. It's going to be fortunate that he got all the damage fixed, just went one lap down. And he should be getting it back, I would think, this lap by.
I was just thinking that right before you said it. Like, oh, that's what Wayne needed, just to get one lap around. You see him up on the high side. He's ready to take that wave around, so get back on the lead lap. Damage doesn't look too bad. You see a little bit there on the hood. We'll have to see how his performance is now that he's back on the lead lap and starting in the back here. But I want to see what happens with the 75, Jeremy. He's got a little bit of damage on his rear. Probably won't affect him too much, but see if he comes down pit road and gets that worked on or not. But that's what your points leader right there, 75, Chuck Sweeting.
Yeah, a little bit of damage, not much. It's to the rear of the truck. So a lot of people trying to fake out pit road. And here we go, the 14, first person to come down pit road. Just like many of the people behind him, a little bit of damage here. We'll see what they can do. Zach McDaniel coming down. You see the 55 right in the 00. Grumman, who's self-spun, trying to avoid things, getting some 4 fresh Goodyears. Brody Hanna, part of that as well. So pit road a little busy again. 5 trucks coming to the service of their crew, and there it is, the number 7. Mr. Dustin called it earlier on the camera, and he was correct as well. He gets that Lucky Dog Award. Hashtag Get a Grip, sponsored by Martin Sports, of course. If you're looking for the grippiest gloves in sim racing and the highest performing ones, that's your one-stop shop to go to. MartinSports906.com. And use Super Nerd at checkout for 25% off, of course. And here's that drone camera. I think Dustin heard you, Kenny. He's utilizing it, and I kind of like this. It's kind of slowly floating through the field here.
Yeah, it looks like a little drone shot. I like it, and it's that pit road there. I thought we had a couple people coming down. All I could hear was DMC playing in my head because it was tricky out there. But it was a lot of movement. I thought Richie was coming down for a second, but he didn't. But yeah, some of those guys just topping off, and they're going to be sitting a little bit better on fuel mileage. But we'll see how this restart goes. I'm excited to see the 12 there starting out on point. We saw how good he is on the restart, but so is Richie. So it's still going to come down to, I think, turn 2 there, Jeremy.
2 weeks in a row with your music references. It's a new trend that we got going on here. Older songs too, so they're not like they're fresh off the label, but a little rocky here. This drone is experiencing some turbulence as we're going through turn number 3. No problem.
There's that damage right there.
Yeah, great shot of the 75's rear damage there. Looking at his left rear tire. A little pushed in, but it's only the rear. Literally no aerodynamic dependency on that corner of the truck. So I think he'll be doing just fine as once you go green. But 7, you were wondering about Wayne Grassi's performance. He was that 1 lap down just off that wreck, and he had fallen back over a second or so from the truck in front of him. So at the moment, it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a hindrance, but we'll have to see as we go back to green flag this time.
Yeah, that left front isn't looking the greatest. I mean, that hood's still crinkled in up a little bit, getting some air in there, and they weren't able to really smooth out the front quarter there. So might be hurting him a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. He's probably just going to ride it out and keep working on it all night. But he's out there making laps. Anything can happen. So between Wayne and Chuck, we'll have to see how these two get going after this restart. And same with Brody. I mean, Brody had it from the front and the back, so he's a little banged up all around.
Yeah, put himself in a little bit of a rock and a hard place there. You see Mr. Dustin's figured out how to fly through the air turbulence here and getting a good shot of the nose portion of the 23. The left looks pretty all right. It's just more so squared in the front, and then the right side a little bit more pushed in, as the damage model has not been updated on these trucks in quite some time. You don't see a splitter just have a perfect curvature of damage typically, but looks pretty all right overall. I think he's going to be doing just fine. That 23 should be rocking and rolling.
Yeah, it'll be. I think it'll be all right, but we'll see how it plays out. But Justin Belmonte, Jeremy, he's going to be starting on the point again. Richie Coy on his outside. Bobby Terrell sitting still kind of in that third spot where he's been consistently all night. And then Nicholas Casey riding where he started. Hey, look at Sherwood, though. Up top 5, started in 10th there, Jeremy. So he's got up 5 spots. Same with Tony Solari. He's up 6 as well, coming to the line right here on this restart.
We got 12 waiting for the green flag, and Sherwood Williford definitely taking advantage of that wreck there that happened mid-pack. Allowing the 33 to get to the top 5, but 19 with an excellent start here over this 12 as they barrel off into turn number 1. It looks like Richie Coy's going to have a nice little advantage here. Sometimes the high side's preferred in one when you're in a side-by-side situation. The 19 really just enters in a little wide, but then takes that low approach off the corner. It throttles the 12 off exit. And we're going to have a new leader heading into turn number 2. This is that 19, Richie Coy.
Yeah, Richie Coy got in there just the way he wanted. And doesn't have anyone to contend with him going into turn 2 this time, so should have no problems getting through it. See if you go. But these guys are side by side, Jeremy, coming in 2, so we'll see if anyone comes off the wall. No, keeping it nice and clean. And yeah, looking back through the field, Jeremy, looks like Wayne's just not going to have the speed and performance to get up there with these guys. He's already dropped back quite a bit, so going to be a tough night for him. But looking back towards the front there, got a nice little run here by the 12 of Belmonte as they're coming off of turn 3, and he's just going to get right up on that back bumper of Richie Coy. See if he pushes him down the front stretch or makes a move. Yep, he's going to be making a move here on the inside as they head down the 1.
Belmonte is not the one to play patient, and he's showing it right here as they're going to go into turn number 1. Dead heat side by side. Will it be the same exact picture as last corner? No, the 12 throws in a little harder. The 19 almost runs the same exact line and almost gets to the outside wall, but then he's got a nice little run off the corner, maximizing that exit speed. They go into turn number 2 side by side. This time the 19 on the bottom of the track. Let's see if he can hold it well off in turn number 2.
Yeah, we saw it happen the last time these guys did it. The outside had to check up, but Belmonte was able to hold into it. Actually, the inside, Richie Coy, he wasn't able to make it, but he's still just right there on his inside trying to go into 3, but no, the 12 just going to drive it in there a little bit harder. See, 86 there with a wiggle from him. He pushes up as Richie Coy's going to take over that second spot again. Justin Belmonte turning right to the point. Ooh, 14 in the wall as they're coming off at 3. That's going to push some of these guys down to the inside.
14 into the wall there. And yeah, no, was that actually the 4 or the 14? It looks like the 14. No, the 4.
Was it the 4?
Yeah, the 4. Yeah, the 4. They're very identical. They both got a 4, and they're both silver out there, but it looks like the 4, Mr. Bobby Terrell, it backed up quite a few spots there. Gave it up to Sherwood, the 75 of Chuck Sweeting, and the 11 of Tony Solari, which Tony's actually coming to the field nicely. As you mentioned, he's 14th to 8th right now on the leaderboard. So let's see if we can get a quick replay shot of this. And right there it is, the 4. Bobby Terrell does tail slap the wall, maybe a little bit to that nose. Can't really tell from that shot right there.
It was
on my perspective.
Lifted up a little bit. Might have to get another look here by Dustin, but I did see it looks like it was raised up a little bit from that hit.
In which any type of damage when you're going 180 miles an hour will definitely affect your straightaway speed and some part even your cornering as well. So you see it one more time right there, and a little more zoomed in, and yep, just a little bit of damage there to that right front. So we'll see how this plays out for him. We're seeing Wayne Grossi gonna have a really long race as he's now, 10 seconds back of the leaders already with just that damage that he has. So he's got 40 laps around Pocono by himself pacing. That's a long night, Kenny.
That's a real long night, and he's playing that game of, well, I know these guys don't wreck very often at Full Throttle Sim Racing, but maybe tonight will be the night I'll gain some spots. But it's going to be a lonely island out there. No boat for him, so he's just out there making laps. But he'll come across the line, though. That's the good thing, run about yourself. You don't have to worry about getting in any incidents, but it's going to be a long night. But Justin Belmonte, Jeremy, he's still having that grip. Just, we've seen him out here before and holding it down. Ooh, looks like we got another one in the wall there off of turn 3. So turn 3 so far has been the one to worry about. But Yeah, Justin Belmonte through the season, Jeremy, he's just been having a heck of a run up in the front, and we know Richie Coy how his tire wear is. So I think this is going to be a nice little battle between these two. We're seeing how the tire wear goes.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there. And it looks like the 42, Zach McDaniel, that time slaps the outside wall. Quite substantial, too. And he's getting a little loose off of turn number 1. So performance is hindered a little bit in that blue and pink Toyota Tundra. I think we're going to get another camera angle at this one. Here we are off of turn number 2 this time. We're going to watch him go into turn number 3. See exactly what happened here. Pretty clean race with a double zero right there into turn 3 all by himself. Trying to maximize the corner. Hits the rumble strip, and you see the right rear, or the right, or the rear of the truck kick out a little bit. Oh, I guess that was the wrong section there. But a little bit of damage to the right side of that 42 overall, but the truck is looking a little loose there.
Yeah, and there was a great pass by the 21 of Jeff Langston to go in that second spot there as we were looking at those two battling it out, and he caught him in the tunnel turn of turn 2 there, Jeremy, and was able to make the pass on Richie Coy, put him back on the outside. So we can see that inside as the way to pass if you're heading into turn 2. But great run by Jeff. He started 8th. He's up to 2nd place now. Great couple weeks as well for him, ever since Atlanta, New Hampshire, and now here tonight at Pocono.
Yeah, 20 points and excellent speed, and he's had some bad luck here in the past few races. Been put on some pretty good speed overall from that number 21. Let's see if he can make a full race out of this and get himself into the podium here. We have not talked to this man all season. It'd be nice to get a chat with, some of these other guys out here. Richie likes to feel, we got a little bit of a wall contact potentially in the 33 of Sherwood Williford, and the 75 Chuck Sweeter going to make it 3 wide as they head off into turn number 1. Who will give it up? They are door to door, really squeezing that 75. Sherwood Williford does not care. Just really pinching him up there in the top half, and I think Chuck made the wise move to back out right there.
I mean, at first, I don't think he was letting him back out. He was trying to pinch him in there right in the middle. Little Oreo sandwich there or something. But yeah, as you see right here on their TV, so close there. I mean, you might have had the slightest bit of contact, but they kept it going, and yeah, he backed out just right as they were entering there. And Nicholas Casey, though, with a great run there as those two were battling it out, and he was able to take that spot, so that's going to put him in 4th position.
Yeah, the truck's looking pretty fast overall. Over the course of the 2 pit stops, the 86 he's been on a mission here. He's got a little bit of ground to gain up on that 19 and the 21 and the 12, but outside of that 86 Nicholas Casey, he's always putting on dominant speed. He's had an on and off season. Typically, it's more on the good side, but like with Sonoma, that was just the staple of how tipsy-turny his luck has been. And so he's trying to get back in that points lead talk, and he's only at 9 points out. So 1 race or 2 races of really good luck, and he might be up there.
Yeah, and I just looked. We were showing the replay there with Zach McDaniel and everything. He's backed out of the server. He's went ahead and disconnected. So he's going to be the first truck out of the race. That's going to put him in the 15th spot, and Wayne's going to get him a spot there. He's moving up to 14th, so he might be running out by himself, but he's gaining spots. But yeah, Zach McDaniel, first one out of the race tonight.
Sometimes it pays off to stick it out. If you have one wreck that takes out 3 trucks, you're just gifted 3 positions. So that's why that number 7 of Wayne Grossi playing the points game, trying to maximize any points he can. Even though it's going to be a quite a long, boring race, being by himself for the most part. But in situations like this, we didn't expect to see 2 cautions within 20 laps here at Pocono, but we've seen it. So anything can happen. And so far it's paid off as he's gained 1 spot.
Yeah, that's kind of normal for full throttle sim racing. They have a caution or 2, like we mentioned, all season, and then after that, it kind of goes into a green flag run. But yeah, I don't think we were expecting them to have them at Pocono, or at least that quick. But hey, it's the Turkey Triangle. That's what happens. So, but now I think we're going to start seeing that green flag run come in. I want to see how these tires wear. I mean, like I said, I know Justin is just fast and he gets a little bit more tire wear, it seems like, than Richie. But Richie's just the king of that long run, as we've seen over the past season and last season as well. So I want to see how those two fare. But Jeff Langston too, he's trying to reel in Justin, and he'll gain a little bit of lap and he'll lose a little bit. So they're kind of running about even, it looks like so far. But he's trying to make his way up there. He did pull from Richie Coy a little bit in that second spot.
Yeah, going off the lap times as far as race goes, just to give you an idea of what that tire wear kind of looks like. I don't know percentage-wise on the tires exactly, but just going off, like, let's say Nicholas Casey, for instance, his fastest lap was on lap number 2 at a 54.45. That last time by, he was at a 55.273. So it's a whole, almost an entire second slower, even after the pit stops. His opening lap after the last green flag was a 54.8, so it's 4 to 5 tenths slower already, even after only a 7 or 8 lap difference. So it's definitely affecting the speed overall at this large track.
Yeah, absolutely. So something to keep an eye on. Yeah, see when we start having some green flag pit stops. But we're on lap 28, Jeremy. It's just like that. We're almost halfway through the race, even with the 2 stops. So these guys are taking off some good lap times right now and good race time. But just Belmonte, he's gaining on that lead. He's having a great run right now. But we still got Sherwood. He's running that top 5, gained 5 spots still. And then we mentioned it earlier, Tony Solari still running inside top 10 and 7th. He's gained 7 spots. So those are your 2 big movers. Bobby Terrell, he's kind of the one that's lost the most, started second, running in 9th place. We saw him get into the wall earlier. So as we see Richie Coy trying to go on the inside, sorry to jump back in front of you, but we got a little battle. Looks like the 21 almost got into the outside wall. Ooh, still getting into it right there. But yeah, a little pass there by Richie Coy heading into 3, and that got the 21 all out of pace.
19 with an excellent move to the bottom in turn number 3. Makes an excellent pass. The 21 misjudged the corner there as the 19 came up just, well, actually, no, he didn't really come up, but 21 overshot that exit there, avoided the wall, and then for some reason turned back into the wall, and it choked him up just a little bit, just scratched the outside of that truck. It should have played no harm, no foul to that 21 machine, but really surprised he found the wall after making such a good effort and overshot the corner, but still only sits in 3rd place. Richie Coy is making his move back to Mr. Belmonte in the 86, Nicholas Casey. You see him on your screen now. Putting some heavy pressure on this 21, as 21 may be showing signs of a little more tire wear as the 86 makes that move. Be careful of that rumble strip down there. Don't get too low. You'll upset the truck. Makes a great race here off the turn number 3. A little bit of side draft's going to keep that 86 door to door with that 21 as they head off into turn number 1.
Yeah, nice little battle here between these guys. We see them side by side. Nicholas is going to take that spot. Looks like he's going to be able to clear him, and he does. So I expect him to move on up just like that as you're coming off of 1, and it's going to put him in your top 3, moving the 21 back. Ooh, I thought there was someone that got into the wall there, but just that little bobble there, Jeremy, from that pass from Richard Coy just kind of got the 21 out of his groove, and he's got to find it again, get in that rhythm, and make his way through. As we see a pass here on Chuck Sweeting, that's going to be Andrew Kalicki taking that spot away from Chuck Sweeting, so that's going to put him in that 6th spot, 1 spot just outside that top 5 there, and right behind him you see Bobby Terrell. He's moved up 1 other spot there. Past Tony Solari. Tony Solari lost 2 spots on that last lap, but Bobby Terrell's trying to make his way back up.
Yeah, and he does that, and I would imagine pit stops are kind of coming up here in the next 10 laps or so. I know Dustin Monday called it perfectly. Well, speaking of pit stops, the 14, Lane Allen making an early stop here right just at the halfway point. Coming to the service of his crew, maybe shortcutting everybody else, but I think this is going to be the appropriate time to go to commercial break. We're going to go side by side, and as soon as these pit stops happen, if they do happen to happen, we'll bring it back to you in live action. But until then, we're going to go side by side. See you in a couple minutes.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and e-NASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
Welcome back to full screen coverage of tonight's race here at Pocono from the Full Throttle Sim Racing League. As you guys watch the Sim Racing Points Truck Series tackle this 2.5 mile triangular shaped track here at Pocono Raceway. Currently lap 36 of schedule 60, and just as we come back, perfect timing. We've got two guys coming down pit road. Looks like that 33 giving up the top five, Sherwood Williford, and just behind him, Tony Solari, Kenny.
Tony came in hot. He was on the brakes, locking them up, trying not to come in pit road too fast. So we'll have to make sure he wasn't speeding there. I think he got down in time, but we'll have to see what happened. I mean, they started the pit stop, so it looks like he's pretty good there. Nothing to worry about. So, but that's still Justin Belmonte sitting out front. He's going to be, as you see here on their TV. Yeah, just walks him up just a little bit as we're coming down. Try to come down right here, and I need an extra whoop. No big deal. Make it on just fine.
Watching that telemetry, got it down to 48 when the speed limit's 55, so he was more than safe there, but it made a little show out of it as we kind of like, oh, he locked the brakes up, he must be speeding, but no, he broke it down a little early. You see the 55, Mr. Brayton coming down for his scheduled pit stop here. Should be the one and only green flag as long as there's no cautions left. This will be the last stop for that truck as well, as it looks like, I would say, green flag stops are officially underway.
Yeah, let's see where these guys start funneling out, and I want to see between Justin and Richie, Jeremy, who's going to be the first one to come down. We see how it's kind of paid off this whole season, really. You know, the first one comes down, kind of gets that jump. It worked last week with Bobby Terrell coming down early and was able to hold off Chuck once you got behind him, and we've seen it before where it's worked in the past. So we'll see where they play out tonight. They might come down together at the same time, but Justin and Richie, they're trying. They're within a second of each other, so they're definitely the two fastest trucks out here tonight.
My guess, it's tough. Like I said, it's in New Hampshire. It's really tough to pass, and so we see the guys come down pit road early to make that pass happen. For virtue of the fresh tires, and it's to cycle through. You got the lead, and then now they have to pass you, which is a hard task. Pocono, it's been hit or miss. You can use the draft and get around. It's a little bit easier than New Hampshire. I have seen Richie Coy almost this entire season hit 3 to 4 laps later at some points than the guy in front of him. He gives up the position initially, but then he's got those 3 laps fresher tires to take advantage over the course of 20 to 30 laps. In this case, it's probably more like 15 to 20 at Pocono, which is still a long time. So I think he prefers having the fresher tire over the guy. He typically stays out a lap or 2 later, but there we go, the 12 Belmonte, there he is. So the 19 is going to stay out a little bit later. 12 is going to be the first one coming down pit road, Ken.
Yeah, and you see his teammate right there, Nicholas Casey, coming down as well. Wayne Grossi was letting everyone go by, so that's going to put Wayne 1 lap down with Wayne Allen. We know his truck's kind of hurting after that wreck. You see the 21 as well coming down pit road. So we got 3 of them right now that's been running mainly in the top 5 all night. But that's going to put Richie Coy to the point, and we'll see how long Richie Coy stays out before he comes down. Ooh, looks like Nicholas Casey overshot the pits as well.
That would not be good for that number 86. We'll have to take a look, but yeah, I think Richie's probably in the next lap or two just because his track is so big. And yeah, if you went back and watched the 86, he did overshoot his pit stall just by like a half a stall length, which is still like 2 seconds, which is huge. It's going to hurt that run if there's no more caution. And you see the 19 making that stop actually the very next lap, realizing it's his time to come on down. The truck's about a second and a half slower from the fresh tire lap, so as long as everything goes smooth, temporarily I think we're going to see that 12 be the leader after everything cycles, but we'll find out for sure here in just the next minute or two.
I mean, you know, you were talking about it earlier, just the lap difference from the first couple laps to 12 laps in. It's almost was a whole second there, so that's something also that Richie was thinking about, and he didn't want to take that chance as far as losing second after second. So he came down that same lap, and see Chuck there. Sweeting, he's going on the inside of Wayne Grossi as everyone's just going by. Wayne's staying up on the high side, not trying to be in the way of these guys and just staying out of their way. So great class right there by him. But we see the 12 going on the inside of Sherwood Wilford here as they're heading down in the turn 1.
Big space difference here between the 19 and the 12 as they're exiting turn number 2 now, as you see the 12 do so, and now the 19's on exit. You can barely see him in the back there. So it looks about a 4 or 5 second disadvantage here looking at the scoring tower to confirm, and yeah, it's definitely he's definitely back there. So that's only a 1 lap difference. I expected maybe a little bit closer. So with 1 lap fresher tires, will that be enough with 20 laps to go? Can the 19 get there? That's now the big question this evening.
Yeah, and it just shows you how much. I mean, Nicholas Casey had that mishap on pit road. I mean, he came down 5 truck lengths behind the 12, and then yeah, probably cost about 2 seconds there on pit road when he overshot his pit. But Richie's sitting behind him even, and it looked like Richie had a pretty good pit stop. So it just shows you the difference 1 lap can make there as you're coming down for pit stops.
Yeah, 3 seconds separate the 12 and 19. As these guys are waiting for like the guys at Andrew Palicki in that 32. You see him on your screen right now. Still leading the charge. He has not come down for a stop yet. You got Brody Hanna in second place, 2 seconds back of Andrew Palicki, or almost 3 seconds rather. These guys are still waiting to come down. Maybe they're being hopeful of that caution, but 32 running a really high lane around that corner. You don't see that often in turn 1, but in this case, maybe that truck's just feeling a little more comfortable running that second or third lane.
Yeah, and I'm kind of looking back at Brody's truck there, and it looks like he's got a little bit more damage on that right side than he had before. Wondering if he maybe got into the wall or something, but yeah, and speaking of damage here, I think I'm hearing over the radio that Chuck is actually lacking some power due to the damage that he got in that wreck. So it makes sense why he's sitting back in 11th place. So we do see that damage is affecting the 75 there, Chuck Sweeting, who we mentioned, your points leader coming into this thing. So, Richie might be sitting in 6th, but this could be Belmonte's time, Jeremy. He can get up there and maybe shake up the points a little more than he already has so far.
23 just lightly slapped the wall this time off of 30, or on lap 39, headed to 40 off turn number 3. And it didn't look like much, but it was enough to definitely scrape some pain away and hinder that performance a little bit. These trucks are going really fast here. Long straightaways. The corners aren't as fast as some other tracks, so it's really aero dependent here. But he's not even reaching 180 miles an hour as he goes through turn number 2 now. You see right now that 32 back on your screen. Still waiting for him to come down pit road. One of 2 trucks left to do so. As we're coming to lap 44 this time, will this be the time the 32 comes down pit road? And that's a big fat nope. So he's going to stay out. The 23 as well stays out another lap.
Yeah, I think they might have been in that group that came down after the last pit stop and got a little bit more fuel. I'm not sure. So they could be trying to stretch this out as long as they can go. We got 17 laps to go in this race. So maybe they're hoping for a caution. Everyone comes down pit road and they're already sitting out front. And so might as well. You're already committed at this point. Take it as long as you can, because yeah, Justin's coming, and I think the closest one to him right now is the 33 there, Sherwood, and he's a good 2.5 seconds behind him. And then you got Nicholas Casey, Richie Coy. So once those two come down, we're gonna be sitting there. That's gonna be your top 5 with Tony Solar, Jeremy. He's gonna move up into that 5th place once those guys come down pit road.
Yeah, that last pit stop was not, or back all the way in lap 15. So I don't know if they can stretch it 35 laps at Pocono, or 45 laps for that matter. So that's a long time. That's a lot of fuel to save. With 15 to go now, or 16, they're almost making it look like they can go the rest of the way. I don't know why they wouldn't pit unless they're definitely banking on that caution, which I think personally that's what they're doing. But yeah, the leaders behind them, the 12 or the 33, they're on a mission. They're headed their way. And speaking of which, that 33, Sherwood Williford, P2. I know he pitted a little earlier than the rest of the guys took advantage of that. Mr. Williford looking like he's trying to go for a podium position here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think they're going to make it on 45 laps as well. So they're definitely going to come down. I just think they're committed at this point for a caution to come out. They've already run this far. So let's see how much longer they go there. But yeah, as you mentioned, when they come back around, you're going to have Belmonte, Wilford, and Casey, as we see the 32 coming down pit road right now. So that goes to tell us how much longer they can go. So I expect Brody Hanna probably in the next lap or two to be coming down as well, because he's going to go out there for one more lap at least. So we'll see him go around. But yeah, that's going to put Justin in the 2nd spot, and Sherwood top 3.
Yeah, it sure will. One driver left, and you see him on your screen, that 23 in that black and orange Ford F-150. At any point in time, we'll see him come down and give up that lead back to the guy who's had it basically all race long. And number 12, Belmonte, he's trying to maximize his points, because right now he started this race 9 points back. With Richie Coy sitting in 6th place, we'll move up to 4th when the 2 guys pit. That's a three-point difference there between the leader and him. It's going to bring that points race so closer.
Yeah, and I think he was sitting 9 off of Chuck, and Chuck's running in 10th place right now. So depending on where the 32 of Palicki and the 23 of Hanna come out, that could possibly change those two up as well and put Justin in front of him. So as we see the 23 now here on their TV coming down pit road to make his final pit stop with 14 laps to go, that's going to bring the 12 who's coming off of turn 3 right now, heading down the front stretch. You're going to see him go by Brody Hanna, and he's going to try and take that lead back. Yeah, he'll get that lead back next time by. So there is your leader. That's the distance you see right there to the 33 right behind him. That's your distance from the leader to 2nd place.
Yeah, it sure is, and I don't think Williford's got anything for him, so the 12 is going to set sail the rest of the way. Richie Coy, surprisingly, is falling back. He's 5 seconds behind the race leader. He came out of pit road, I think, just 3 or 3.5 back, so he's fallen off his pace a little bit here compared to his normal time with that 12 going lap to lap. It did not look like this earlier on in the race, so something in the setup or something in the track has changed. Not in the favor of the 19, but that number 12 is really loving it right now. Oh,
absolutely. He's praying that there's no yellow that comes out, because that'll bunch everybody up, and then I'm sure we'll see some pit stops, and that could be exactly what Brody and Andrew are looking for as well. I mean, I know it'll be a couple lap difference, but they might like to see that as well. But we see the 75 here going on the inside of the 21, and they got the 4 right in front of them, so we're gonna have a little three trucks kind of right side by side, almost making it 3 wide there if he would have went low. But gonna have the 75. I think he's gonna have the momentum, Jeremy, to get by the 21 here of Langston, as he's gonna slide right up in front of him. Yep, just gonna be able to clear him. See, the 21's gonna try to get a run off, and not gonna be able to do it this time. So that's gonna put the 75. Chuck actually back in 6th, Jeremy. So that's only a 5-point difference there between Justin and Chuck. So that'll still put Chuck in front of him. But either way, Justin's just trying, like you said, get max points today.
If they finish right now where they're at, the top spot in the points is a virtual tie between Chuck and Richie. And then if Belmonte can maximize what he's doing now, this is going to bring 3 guys, 1, 2, and 3 in the points. About a 5-point spread, 4-point spread between 3 people. This race is really coming down to a really tight race with 5 races left, as long as they finish right now in their current positions. But Chuck's on a mission. Yeah, I think he's a little bit faster than number 4 there, Bobby Terrell. Gains a lot in that corner in turn number 1. Loses a little bit on exit. The truck just looks a little unstable compared to the 4 on exit. But I think overall at 75 might have a chance to pass that 4 truck.
Yeah, and you mentioned 5 races to go after this race, and what a range of races it is. I mean, you got 150 laps at Lucas Oil, 80 at Michigan, 150 at Richmond, 100 at Kentucky, and then, of course, I'm excited for it to finish it at Daytona because who knows what's going to happen for 60 laps. I mean, those last 5 races are just totally different tracks all the way around. So, you throw this in there, even these last 6 races, they're just all completely different. So it's going to be great to see, but I'm really looking forward to that season finale at Daytona.
You know who's not looking forward to that season finale?
All
race
the
car
drivers.
Yes. We talked to Richie Coy on Monday during his interview, and we asked him, has he thought about Daytona? His answer simply was no, because he doesn't want to. So I don't blame him, though. That's going to be, especially with the points right now, if they end up being this tight at the final race of the season, literally Daytona it's a throw up. It doesn't, you can't plan on it. You just run the race and hopefully you don't get involved in someone else's screw up. So, the 75 gets really loose around turn number 2. As we're watching right now, the 33 and the 86 go at it here for position. 86 is going to take over second place from Sherwood Williford as they exit and complete turn number 3 as they head off to the line with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, and that's going to make the KC Racing 1-2 right now. They're trying to have a 1-2 finish. Once again here, they're going to be, it's the first time I think in the trucks this season I want to say that they would have had a 1-2 finish. So trying to pull it off. Sherwood's not letting him go though. He's trying on the outside. Looks like Nicholas Casey's going to clear him this time. Should be able to kind of try and set sail on him, but he's not letting him get that draft. You see he moves to the inside, back to the outside, just trying to shake him. And Sherwood's closing up on him. He's going to probably sit right there, so this will be a good battle towards the end here. Jeremy will have to watch it with 10 laps to go, but yeah, KC Racing looking to get 1-2.
This battle right now, especially for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, really heating up. Down the backstretch point, they were 2 by 2 at one point, all within a blanket's reach of each other. As they head off into turn number 3 right now, it kind of settled out a little bit. I thought the 19 of Richie Coy had something for Chuck here. As the 21 almost hits the wall, gets a little tail happy there on exit, but didn't really lose any speed there as they head off to 8 laps to go this time. But I would say keep an eye out on this little pack here. It's getting pretty dicey.
Yeah, and you know who's loving watching this probably is Richie Coy, because he's sitting right behind these guys, and all it takes is for him to go side by side in one of these corners and have to check up a little bit, and he's there to pounce on him and move up because he's trying to gain some spots, Jeremy. I mean, he's not, if we know Richie like we do, he's not happy sitting back in 7th place, so he's going to try and move his way up. But Chuck, I don't know if he was sandbagging or what earlier when he said that he had damage just trying to ride it out when he was sitting in 9th place, and now look at him in top 5 trying to get 4th position taken away there from Bobby Terrell. So he might have been playing a little trickery there.
He was also playing some poker and bluffing the field. This truck has picked up some speed for sure. Currently sitting inside that top 5, and I still think he's got a little bit of faster truck than that number 4. I think he's going to be able to get around him as he gets a pretty decent run down the front stretch here as he closes in a little bit on Bobby Terrell. Won't be enough to stick his nose to the inside as we got 7 or 8 laps to go at this point. The damage is kind of faded off. It's more so about tire wear than it is the performance of the truck. So we'll have to see. It's gonna come down to the final couple laps here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. The 12, he's off in his own little world out here. He's 5-6 seconds ahead of his teammate Nicholas Casey. Nicholas has pulled a little bit on the 33 of Sherwood, so your top 3 is kind of spread out a little bit. I think Sherwood's far enough ahead as long as he doesn't make a mistake that he's going to secure that podium. But those guys behind him, they're closing up too. So Sherwood definitely has to keep it clean these next 7 laps. We're 7 laps to go. Going to be at 6 to go this time by, but he needs to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes because Bobby Terrell and Chuck Sweeting, they're making their way up to him.
32 injured Plicky. Quick note, he got loose off of turn number 3, hit the inside retaining wall, and is backed out of the session with substantial damage to that number 32. So that's going to put him officially in 14th place when this thing all cycles through. Actually reconnected, so I'm not too sure what's going on there, but the truck's basically out of contention at this point. But That being said, we're going to put our focus back to the guys up front here. Sherwood Williford right now on your screen, still running third place, just over 1 second over that number 4 truck, Bobby Terrell. As these guys know, they got a little bit fresher tires than that 33. Might be a chance that they run him down before this thing's all done.
Yeah, that's going to give Wayne Grossi another spot as well. Put him up in the 13th place. So still chugging along. But yeah, the 4 and the 75 kind of separated there. As you see, they were nose to tail. But yeah, they're making a run here on Sherwood. So his tire wear is definitely taking effect here late. And you hate to see it with 6 to go. But these guys are all on his back bumper. Bobby Terrell's trying to move up in that top 3 and break up the party. And Jeremy, he might even catch Nicholas Casey with the laps that he's been putting down.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to catch the 33 that quick there in that corner, but able to just eat him up for lunch here, getting to this door panel, entering turn number 2 as they head off into the tunnel turn here. Looks like that 4 is just going to easily just go around that 33, no problem. 75 sees that door open up, gets a great launch off the number 2. Going to dip it to the inside at 33. He's going to lose 2 positions this lap.
Yeah, that's definitely not what the 33 wants to see, is going from 2nd to 3rd momentarily and then dropping 2 spots there, basically 2 turns. But he's fighting back on the outside of 75. But once they come in down turn 1, I think the 75 is just going to have too much for him. But still a good run for Sherwood. And we started in 10th, so he's just going to try and hold these guys off. We got 5 laps to go. He was able to get back in front of that 75 there, as we see, get right behind him. So he's not giving up just yet. He's got the 21 of Jeff Langston right behind Chuck there. Washes up just a little bit there as they're coming off for 1. That's going to open up the inside for Chuck.
Yeah, it sure does. And making a good run right now as they go side by side here. Will he pass and clean it right here? Will not. He struggles a little bit. I'm surprised he wasn't able to clear him in 1. As he's still running pretty good exit there for the inside lane on that 70 or on that 33 rather. 75 wants to redo turn 3 this time on Sherwood Williford, and looks like he's got a much better chance this time. It's just he looks like he can't just get the throttle down. He does exit that corner pretty conservatively. He's lost some exit speed there and allows the 33 to actually get back in position.
Yeah, that's what Sherwood wants to see there. He's having a good run on the outside. I really thought the way that they would catch maybe Bobby Terrell's just got that much of a faster truck here in the long run. I thought that there's something wrong with the 33 and the 75 was going to go around him just as well, but he's holding off the 75 here, putting up a good battle. We see Bobby's kind of moving up on these guys, so Bobby definitely has a good truck here late in this run. A little too late though, but definitely has the speed there. 4 laps to go. I don't think he's going to be able to get up to Nicholas Casey. I mean, he's about a second and a half ahead, but you never know. But we see the 75 all over the back bumper of the 33 here as they're heading down in the turn 3 as they're going to be coming around to the front stretch here. He's going to try and get a nice run as they're coming off the 3, Jeremy. He's going to see if he can get right up on the back bumper, and I expect him possibly to be making a move here on turn 1. We'll have to see. He's been trying it and no luck so far, so looks like he might just be pushing him down the front stretch and not making a move just yet.
It just looks like this closure rate is just very subtle. He had all the draft in the world to help him out right there and just could not get to the bumper enough to make a move to the inside for a pass. Jack gets a really good run off of turn number 1, just chokes up a little bit, and once again it's just going to be a drag race down as it's dead heat really going down into turn number 2. Chuck just needs to have a really solid corner exit to get any type of run here. He's been doing a better job than the 33 in turn number 2, and you see it once more able to kind of keep that truck a little bit lower. He's going to go into turn number 3 for the 3rd time in 4 laps here, side by side again. He really wants to get this pass done in this corner, and he's trying to redeem himself. He gets a little bit better opportunities. He's got over half a truck on that 33. Pushes him up a little bit wider this time. 33 is going to have a little side draft. The 75 breaks it going down the straightaway. 75 momentarily takes that position.
He's trying. This is a great battle between these two. He wants to get it taken care of. I mean, we're at 2 laps to go. Not much time left. The 75 wants to get around him. The 21 is moving his way up here with these guys battling side by side. 75 pushes it a little bit harder into turn 1. Going to be able to get out in front of the 33 there. That's going to put him in the 4th position. But the 33, I don't see Sherwood giving up just yet, Jeremy. We've got 2 laps to go. He's going to go on the inside here. So going into turn 2, see if he can disrupt that 75 on the outside and make that pass. But 75 is able to hold on, and 33 just doesn't have the grip that he needs to get on that pass. But I don't think he's going to give up just yet, Jeremy. But as we're coming up Justin Belmonte, who's been putting on quite a show this season, Jeremy. I think he's going to come into the white flag now, trying to get his first win of the season.
White flag presented by Sim Racing Points, as you are correct, Mr. Belmonte. Trying to capitalize on one more lap here on this 2.5-mile track. Let's see if he can just complete one more lap completely clean, which being a 7.5-second lead over second place Nicholas Casey, I do not see that being a problem whatsoever. This is going to give him his first win of the season. It's going to bring a total of 7 different winners this season. If he can just get around, or actually 6 different winners, my bad there, as he's got one more corner to maintain. And then it's all his. Belmonte looking pretty stout. Clean truck, no damage, and that truck has not seen any looseness. At least I have not seen any looseness out of that number 12. As he comes to the checker flag for the final time, Mr. Justin Belmonte picks up his first checker flag here at Pocono.
And his teammate and truck owner, Nicholas Casey, is going to come home in second. So great run by KC Racing right there, and Bobbicello rounding out your top 3 for the podium. So great run there. Great win by Justin. Finally was able to pull one of it off. We've been seeing it all season, and we're not surprised to see him, take home this win, especially in the performance that he put on tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. KC Racing. I'm sure that team is excited to do 1-2. We saw earlier in the year at Knoxville where Fury Motorsports went 1-2-3. That's the second time that we've seen an entire team sweep the top positions. Only 2 trucks on this team, but hey, still count it. Both of them in podium, 1 and 2. Awesome performance there for KC Racing.
Yeah, great performance indeed. Nice to see Justin, rookie, dominating the Rookie of the Year standings. That's definitely what he needed to see. He's Richie Coy. We mentioned he was, I believe, 6 points off of Richie, and that's going to kind of put them dead even. And then you got Chuck Sweeting. That was your points leader heading into this thing. He's still going to retain that as well. So Chuck, even though with having some damage early, still had a great night.
Dual burnouts here, it looks like, for the teammates. These guys celebrating. At least the 12 is going to do that on the wall burnout here. 86 actually did a little bit of slide and having some fun down pit road here, it looks like, driving backwards and finally parking that thing. But this is going to bring us to our unofficial results this evening. You see Belmonte doing his burnouts because he is the winner for tonight. Nicholas Casey's teammate finishes in 2nd place. 3rd place, you'll find Bobby Terrell. 4th place, Chuck Sweeting. 5th place will be Sherwood Williford. 6th, Jeff Langston. In 7th place was Richie Coy. 8th place, Stephen Vrooman. Jeff Brayton actually moves up to 9th, which has gained 6 spots. I think that's that hard charger award going to him. And to round out the top 10, Tony Solari.
Yeah, coming home in 11th is going to be Tony's teammate there, Brody Hanna. 12th is going to be Lane Allen, 1 lap down. 13th, Wayne Grossi, who was just riding all by himself, 2 laps down in 12th. Angie Pawlicki is going to come home in 14th. 15th is going to be Zach McDaniel. And then Brian Bliss, who did not make the race, will round out in 16th.
I think this is his time to kick over to the Martin Sports post-race show. Talk to the guys who finished in the podium. And it's a whole different class here. These 3 groupings, I don't think we've seen these guys all 3 in the top 3 at one time. So it'll be fun here to see what they got to say about this track. As we're going to bring in Bobby Terrell, who did finish 3rd this evening. Mr. Bobby, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I sure do.
Hey, man, congratulations on that 3rd place finish. The race was pretty sketch early on. We saw a couple early cautions. Didn't really expect that. But things kind of mellowed out from there. Just overall, how'd you feel about your race tonight?
It was okay. I just, I guess you could say I was dragging my foot a little bit there on one of the restarts and got shuffled back to 8th or 9th or whatever it was, and just worked my way back up. I mean, it took a while, but brushed the wall one time or something, got loose. I tightened my car up a little bit, tightened my truck up a little bit after that pit stop, and it made it a little better.
Yeah, it looked like you had a great run there at the end of the race. You were able to run down the 33, and I thought maybe there was a problem with the 33, and you and 75 were going to go around no problem. But it's just you, and you're able to definitely gain some time on them as well. So it looked like those adjustments you made on pit road definitely helped in the end of that run there at the end of the race.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know, it felt good at the earlier part of the race, but then I don't know what it is when we have a caution and we don't pit for tires, and then we come back out and restart. I just didn't. I don't know. They didn't feel that great to me.
Yeah, and this track at Pocono definitely eats tires up because you're carrying so much speed into the corners that aren't the fastest corners. So any type of disadvantage like that, you can definitely feel it inside the truck for sure. But once again, though, congratulations on third place. You're still putting a good battle there in the points. That should bring you, keep you right around 30 points or so with 5 races left. So, I mean, never say never, but there's still a decent chance at least the top 3 for sure. But the floor is yours, man. Who do you got to think out there tonight?
I'd like to thank you guys in the booth, and then the admins at Full Throttle for everything they do. That's it.
Keeping it clean and simple, man. Appreciate those words. And go ahead and celebrate, man, for a hard fought third place.
All right, thanks.
You got it. That's Bobby Trill finishing third tonight here at Pocono. And now it's time to talk to the 2 boys that run KC Racing. First, Nicholas Casey, who's been trying to get back up in here and is now in second place tonight. Mr. Casey, got a copy?
I'm here, fellas.
Hey, man, congratulations on second place. Your team, KC Racing, just dominating Pocono, at least in the back half of the race. Belmonte just sweeping the thing up for the most part. I have to ask you, though, you had a couple wall incidences there off of turn number 3. Do you think that was the difference between you and your teammate? Because you, just like everybody else, they kind of fell back a little bit more after the pit stop, and Belmonte with a 7.5 second advantage, at least over you. Do you think the wall kind of dampened your truck a little bit?
Yeah, I hit the wall more than once, that's for sure. And definitely every time I hit it, it slowed me down more and more. And over the course of the race, it adds up. And I don't know, Belmo was class of the field tonight, if you ask me. There was no catching him. He was bad fast. I don't know how he does it. Super excited. We had a terrible showing at New Hampshire last week, so I'm super excited. Get right back at it. 1-2 finish. What more could I ask for?
Yeah, as you mentioned, he was the class of the field tonight. I don't think anyone had anything for him. As we mentioned, had just a dominating performance all night, and I think that's the first 1-2 finish of the trucks at least this season for you guys. So great overall run there. And how do you feel with this next coming 5 races coming up? I know it's a little different schedule. You see some more tracks there where you think you can have maybe possibly another 1-2 finish here?
Yeah, no doubt. Belmo has definitely had a monkey on his back, and now that he's got it over with, man, I think we got more in store.
Awesome. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be exciting. I can't wait to see it as well, to see exactly what KC Racing has in store for the next 5 races as they all dwindle down to that super speedway, Mr. Daytona, to complete the season. But the floor is yours, Mr. Nicholas. Who do you want to thank out there tonight?
So I've been forgetting her for past year. I got to thank my wife. She's the reason I'm able to do this, taking care of the kid. I love you, honey. And yeah, have a good night, fellas. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely, man. Have a good night as well, and congratulations on second place. And that was Nicholas Casey finishing P2 tonight. Now there's one person left to talk to, and that's going to be your race winner, Mr. Belmonte. As Nicholas just said, he got the monkey off the back finally. Mr. Justin, welcome, man. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you, man. Definitely needed to get one. It's tough to win against these guys, so it's good to finally get one for sure.
Yeah, the race was just in your hand. You had to fight Richie there in a little bit earlier on, but especially after the pit stops, it was the Belmonte show from there on forth, and that truck did not have any issues getting around this track. Didn't see you get loose one time at all. Just an excellent performance. Just didn't go to plan, or did you make some changes to make your truck even more dominant there in the back half?
I actually didn't touch it at all on that on the second pit stop. One of the earlier ones, a small tweak. But I knew I wanted the clean air. The clean air is huge. I ran a couple C opens and I was in traffic, and it was tough sledding and when you're in dirty air like that. So I knew when Richie got me on that pit stop, I had to get back by him pretty quickly to get that clean air and make it work.
Yeah, you're making the passes work at the right time too. We saw you even at the start of the race there, able to make that pass there in turn two and put Richie on the outside and do it flawlessly. And I think the next time that you made that pass, it was even as just really smooth on that one. So great overall run. And I was asking, Nicholas there, if you got any of these next 5 tracks coming up that you kind of got your eye on for another 1-2 finish. Is there one of those tracks coming up that you're kind of pinpointing as well?
To be honest with you, I don't know what we got past Lucas Oil in Michigan. Lucas Oil, hopefully we can figure something out with our short track game here. We were a little tough go in New Hampshire, so we'll put that behind us and try again. And Michigan is it's a drafting track, so it's going to be mayhem. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you're going to finish with Richmond, Kentucky, and of course the big drafting track Daytona. So that's going to be a fun one. But great win, though. It was a nice performance you had tonight.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Before we let you go, the floor is yours. Anyone out there in the Nerd TV world you'd love to thank?
We got a new sponsor on the truck this week, or I might have had it on last week too, but I didn't get to talk to you guys. We got Cellucor on there. Thank Nick, my teammate. We put some work in. We weren't very fast to start the week, and we picked it up and we made some really good changes that helped the truck. So thanks to him, and we're making it happen. I think, hopefully.
Yeah, those changes definitely seem to work. Definitely in your guys' favor as you go 1-2 here at Pocono. Congratulations once again. Go ahead and celebrate with the team, man.
Thanks, man. Have a good night. I appreciate you guys for putting this on as well. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate those words. And that was Mr. Justin Belmonte finally finding himself P1 this season. Going to bring the 6th different winner for the Full Throttle Sim Racing guys in the truck series specifically. It's presented by Sim Racing Points. And Kenny, how'd the race fare out in your eyes?
It's dominating fashion there by Justin. Looks like I'm going a little invisible on the screen here. Yeah, Justin just putting a little dominating performance there. Casey Racing all together just, doing really good things. And finally it all came together, as he mentioned, got the monkey off his back. So I expect to see some more things to come, though, with these last couple races coming up.
Yeah, for sure. And you already brought over the schedule, so we don't need to recap that. It's just we know it's going to be an exciting final 5 races. But as you're wearing the Harry Potter invisibility cloak, we got to start taking some people one last time before we bring this broadcast to a close. FTSR.net. Get yourself registered. You got 5 weeks left after this season or this week comes to a close. So if you want to, get your feet a little wet with these guys and show what you're worth, this is the place to do it. FTSR.net. Mach 1 Performance. You head over to Facebook and go to facebook.com/Mach 1 Performance. If your car is in the area, you need some fabrication work done, this is the shop to go to. Mach 1 Performance. Sim Racing Points, the sponsor for the truck series every Wednesday. And they back the nerds as well. And if you want the best looking website as far as displaying your league stats, this is your shop to go to, simracingpoints.com. Martin Sports, official apparel partner for the Nerditudes. You need to pick up something in his apparel lineup. He's got tons of stuff. If you want something current that's on the website or a custom order, either way, they got your back. martinsports906.com. Super Nerd at checkout, 25% off. iRacing iFlag, flag partner for the Nerditudes. One of those pieces that really complete your sim rig. If you want all the notifications in a digital format on your desk, this is a one-of-a-kind product to do so. And you go to iRacingIFlag.com, Super Nerd, 15% off. And then Butt Kicker, the audio enhancement partner for us here at the Nerditudes. If you want to really make your sim rig feel like you're at the track, head over to thebuttkicker.com and use that Nerd TV checkout code for 20% off. And then Moonlight Speed over at moonlightspeed.com. Join their Discord or Twitter or both. And pick your package. These setups are professionally made from the ground up, and they are some of the fastest setups in the business. That's moonlightspeed.com. House2speed.us, same thing, but on anything dirt oval related, really. So house2speed.us if you're looking for some dirt wins. And then Nerd Focus, the think drink for the Nerditudes. Go to nerdfocus.com, Super Nerd at checkout, 10% off. All right, that's going to bring us to a close. As always, we're going to return back to you guys on Monday for the Cup guys. Tackle Pocono. Will Nicholas Moreau go 8 for 8 on the polls? We'll have to stay tuned and find out. Until then, though, stay safe out there. As always, get your nerd on.
Later, nerds.